Well, good afternoon, everybody. How y'all doing? Pretty good here, and welcome to the channel. Hey, today I want to get on here and talk about the Toyota Tundra a little bit. Particularly, or specifically, the current version. Is today's Tundra still relevant, or should they just stop selling them until the new model is ready? You know, you would think that would be the case if you listen or pay attention to a lot of the comments out there on the forums and stuff, as well as against videos and things that I put out. So I kind of want to settle that a little bit. I'm going to tell you first off, yes, I think today's Tundra, and I'm talking again about the current version, not the new-fangled, remodeled, six-cylinder, hybrid, whatever it is it's going to come out, happens. So the first thing is that I want to talk about is styling and appearance. You know, there's a lot of good-looking trucks out there, and let me say first off, the point of this video is not to bash any of the other trucks that are out there. There are a lot of sharp-looking trucks out there. I've said before, and it still holds true for me, that the Ram Rebel is the best-looking truck on the road. Ram, in general, has some pretty good-looking trucks. But I would put the Toyota Tundra right next to that as far as full-size trucks go. You know, it's not outdated. It still has nice lines to it, nice curves, well designed, great colors. I think it looks fantastic. I certainly don't think that it's irrelevant in today's truck market. You know, it seems that, and I don't know why, that a lot of the trucks out there are still going with those big, giant, gaudy grills. I mean, you look at some of them out there, like I think it's the Silverado that's out now. It's like a mirror on the front. It's this humongous chrome grill. I don't know why, but they're still doing that, excuse me, and it seems that they're getting even worse. I don't know if they're trying to hide something. You know, the big thing is that I read not too long ago is that we Americans love big giant chrome grills. I don't know who they're talking to, but from what I see, again, comments and things that I see on the web, that's not true. Doesn't mean there aren't people out there that don't like chrome. I know that there are people that do, and that's okay. But I don't think that's the majority anymore. And I certainly think that the styling on the Tundra back there is still relevant in today's market. Next is comfort. You know, one of the things, because a lot of us use our trucks these days for more than just hauling stuff and work, you know. In today's world, a lot of them, with their cavernous size, they're family haulers. They have to be comfortable inside. We spend a lot of time in our vehicles, some of us do. I took a Toyota Tundra, and this was the Crewmax that I had before, the 2018, across country. Drove straight from Ohio to southern Texas and back. And I gotta tell you, it is the most comfortable vehicle I've ever driven in. Bar none. Even better than a couple of motorhomes I've been in. If you could get up and stand in this thing, it would be better. I think that comfort-wise, they still have it down. The seats are nice and comfortable. There's all kinds of positions you can, you know, finagle around if you want to get comfortable. And it certainly never feels to me like I'm sitting in a truck that I just don't want to be in anymore. And part of that for me too is the design. It's kind of a, I don't know, the way you look out over the truck. I've talked about this before. The Tundra really feels more, at least from a line of sight perspective, like an SUV. It never feels to me like I'm driving some great big giant truck, which I am. They are big trucks, but it never feels that way. And I think that's a testament to Toyota for designing it in such a manner that it's comfortable to drive on the road. You don't feel like you have to worry about being so big, even though you are. Capability-wise, it's still just as capable as every other mid-size, full-size truck out there. It can tow, relatively good amount. It can haul. It can carry people inside. Now, you get a lot of comments about Toyota needs to come out with a diesel. I don't know if you guys know this or not, but Nissan just discontinued their Titan diesel. Why? Is it because they were making tons of money selling them? No, it's because people don't want them. Not to say there isn't a market out there for them. There is. But it's not as huge as people might make you think. Most of us don't drive diesel trucks. We just don't need them. So I think Toyota, being forward facing, didn't succumb to the loud minority out there and put out a diesel product, which, like Nissan, would have to discontinue a few years later because they're not selling any of them. So kudos to Toyota for staying firm and putting out what people want. There are diesel versions out there. Ram has them, Ford has them, and they sell some of them. But I'd venture to say probably more for fleet type vehicles than just your average everyday truck owner. Modability. Now, this might be more of a personal thing for me and maybe for some of you folks out there who like to do stuff with your vehicles, right? There is a myriad of mods out there that you can get and install on the Tundra yourself. And that's the key point. The garage mechanic, or the amateur garage mechanic, wants to be able to do that. There's a lot of satisfaction, and I've heard this from other people who have tried things because they've watched some of the videos that I've done, and it's given them the confidence to go out there and turn that wrench themselves, that have told me how much satisfaction and sense of accomplishment they've gotten off of doing even the simplest mods themselves. I love that about the Toyota product, in this case, the Tundra. There's all kinds of things that you can do. Most are easily bolted on, and you don't have to be a veteran, seasoned mechanic to do them. They're easy, they're plentiful, and they really make a big difference in the appearance of the truck. If you want to dress up your Tundra a little bit, you have the option to do it. You don't have to. It looks perfectly fine how it is right out of the box. But you have that option, and I love that about the Tundra. The last thing that I'm going to talk about, and this is, again, it's that elephant in the room that everybody hates, and if you mention it, people just jump all over you, but they mention it all the time, and that's fuel economy. The Tundra sucks. I'd be the first to admit that. Getting 13, 14 mile per gallon, it's not very good. There are others out there who get better for sure, but at what cost? Hybridization, 6-cylinder motors, cylinder deactivation, all these things are recipes for trouble, for problems. You look at some of these trucks, the F-150s, the Rams, they have this technology in one form or another, but they are not reliable. The Tundra never has any issues. It's the big fat old V7, or V7, the V7. The V8 motor, either in the 5.7 of old, or I should say the 4.6 of old, because you can't get it now. And they work perfectly. No issues, no problems. I have never had to take my Tundra in for any kind of an issue. In the Ram Rebel I had various cosmetic problems I had to go in for. I had the screen, because it's all digital or whatever in the screen, go black. No speedometer, no nothing. Not very handy when you're trying to drive your truck, right? In the F-150s, again, I'm not dogging them. These are just facts. These are things that I experienced. Transmission problems. When you'd go from reverse to drive, it would lurch and clunk. It felt like your transmission was going to fall off. I don't know. They never did fix it. It was in both trucks that I had two different versions back to back, and both of them had the same issue. And I think the reason for that, and actually this is the last thing I'll mention, is reliability. Toyota has not changed the Tundra in like 3.5 million years. There were cavemen driving the Tundra, in case you didn't know. That's been that long since they changed it. And there's a reason for that. When you get a working formula, why change it? Some of these other models, every year, they're banging out something different. They're throwing something else in. And don't get me wrong, I love tech. I really do. But even more than that, I love a truck that's going to work right when I want to use it. And the Tundra does that. So is it still relevant in today's market? Yeah, I think so. I think it is. It's going to be interesting to see when they come out with the new one, which I think is going to be another year or two by the time they get done testing and everything else, which is good because you should test it for a while before you throw it out into the market and have trouble. Anyway, just wanted to kind of talk about that a little bit. I think the Tundra is still relevant. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you guys think. Is it still relevant in the market today? Or has everything else passed it by? As usual, appreciate you guys watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And we'll see you next time on the web. Have a great day. Bye.